We have here 3 different ceremonial matcha, different prices, different taste. Will the two match? This is nannuoshan, I'm Gabriele, and I'm getting ready to taste 3 different ceremonial matcha in Koicha. The 3, I have tasted them already in a previous video, link up there if you wanna see that first, together with other 3 matcha that didn't even pass that first test. And these 3, they are all pretty good, pretty interesting. I ranked them blind differently than the price they are actually fetching. And that's why we are sitting here for the final truth. To find out which one really tastes better, the most expensive one or the other one. Water is ready. We are gonna put about 30-35 milliliters. I take a lot of care in weighing each of them carefully. It's 5 grams of matcha powder in each of them. As you can see by the color, they are all very similar. This side there is a little bit more shadow and it's slightly darker. It's really, you can barely tell which one is brighter, given the fact that the light is a little bit different in the room. We will also measure very carefully the water, because that of course makes a big difference. So we said about 30, we start with 30 and we see if that's sufficient, should be. $31, $32. That's perfectly fine. We start whisking this first. Although in this case, I mean, it's not really yeah, you get some foam, but when you do this type of matcha, koicha, is the brew very thick. We just want to homogenize the whole thing so that you don't really feel the grain of matcha anymore in your mouth. Beautiful color. I really look forward to this. It's difficult to not be super messy. I usually tend to be. Then we'll try to go for another 32 if I can make it. Here you go. Got a bit lucky. All right. So just to summarize, for those that didn't see the previous video, the matcha that is the most expensive is the central one here. I reckon it second though, and my first choice was actually this one here, that is less than half the price of the central one. It's a big difference in price, and this is wholesale price difference. Like if you would rank these like for a price of $100, these would go for 42. So substantially a lower price. Trying to limit the mess. Oh, I put a tiny bit more than I do like this. Just a few grams, but I want to be as precise as possible. The very first one, the one on that side, has a price that is extremely similar to the third one here. But I've ranked it substantially worse. Not bad, but just worse. And yeah, we will see which direction we go. I think I will go a little bit forth and back, considering that we don't have a lot of cream. It's really cream. It reminds me when my mom was preparing zabayone when I was a child, with fresh eggs, some sugar, a little bit of marsala liquor. So tasty. All right, these we shouldn't needing it any longer. Well, let's get started. Of course, the bitterness is much more pronounced than in the uzucha version that I did in the other video. I would consider it still a little bit watery, considering how much powder we have in there, right? That's the most expensive one. So, certainly better than the first. That's something I can say straight away. Like, here the bitterness at this point is a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much. I'm a person that like bitterness if it's good bitterness, but somehow too pungent. Here, that's pretty sweet actually. It's pretty sweet, but well, let me go for this one first before I speak too much. This is much creamier, warmer. It's not warmer, right? The temperature is the same. If any, that would be probably the coolest because I prefer it last, and the water is a little bit maybe cooling down in the kettle. I don't know, but the consistency in the mouth is really creamy, like buttery, milky, but more than that, like a mousse, like a vanilla mousse without the vanilla. It doesn't have vanilla notes, but that what maybe chocolate mousse, more into that direction. Very smooth, and it would be like it would be more oily than it is than the other, although it's actually has the same viscosity. Now I will compare the two forth and back, I think. Let me take another sip of the third one. It's smoother. That's just how it is. Yeah, it's like there would be almost eggs inside in a way. I don't know how. This has more strength, a tiny bit more strength, but it doesn't reach the smoothness of the first one. So let's review a little bit the pricing here. We mentioned, what did I say? 45, 100, 42. Like between these two, there is no comparison. Like, of course, this one, same price, no question, right? Between these two is different teas. Like I ranked before in Uzucha 7, gave a score 7 and gave a score 8 to this one. Right now, for Koicha, it's difficult. It's difficult to really say what is better just because they're both good in a way. But if you look at the price, then there is no way around it, right? Of course, this one is better because it costs $42 for whatever quantity. I just normalized the price against the most expensive one, which is 100. It's a big difference. So now the question is, what do we do? because actually I ordered them maybe a little bit too early this year. I checked actually when they were grounded just a few weeks ago, so they're very, very fresh. And what I am a little bit concerned is the fact that we have still a little bit of the matcha on the nannuoshan shop that we had already in the past. So we have the ocean matcha, which is the most ceremonial grade that we have, that is also extremely smooth with a touch of marine, in my opinion at least. And then we have the uji matcha, which is more for uzucha with a clear bitterness, but so good. It comes from Oraido, the famous shop in Kyoto, from which we also sourced Genmaicha, and they love the uji bitterness. So they're really, with 200 years of experience on their shoulder, they have a lot of contact with the farmers, they really get a very nice bitter matcha. So these two were still on stock. Adding an additional ceremonial grade and a fresh one would be better actually to sold out at least one of the other two. Let's do like this. This video should come back on a Friday. Starting from today and also for the whole next week, we will offer 50% off the two matcha that you have now on the nannuoshan store, both in the US and in the Europe shop. Just for these 8 days, 9 days, no more than that, okay? 50% off. It's, trust me, really good tea. They are all already packed in the tiny little aluminized pouches, sealed and stored in the fridge in double bags. So it's extremely fresh stuff. Let's see how many we are able to sell in the week to come, and then I'll decide if we will go for this ceremonial matcha, which in terms of quality is extremely high, and in terms of quality price ratio, unbeatable. Cheers, guys.